Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Morning Thoughts. Today, I wanted to talk about a subject that is a bit close to my heart, and that is self-esteem. So, I've been reading some comments, and some of you have contacted me directly through personal messages on Facebook, as well as text messages, emails, and comments. And many of you have asked the question over and over again, and that is, about confidence, self-worth, and self-esteem. And so I wanted to address this issue today because it is an epidemic, especially amongst the young, and the teenagers, the young adults, as well as the middle-aged adults. And hey, listen, there's not a magic formula to this, right? There's not a potion or a pill that you can take and all of a sudden you become confident and understand your self-worth and value. It's a process. It's a process that you have to go through, and first and foremost, you have to be willing and understanding that it's going to take time, right? And what happens in our life is that we become conditioned, by society, by family, by friends, by coworkers, that we are always lacking something, and that lack may turn into a habit, and the way we look at ourselves is either rewarding and helpful to us, or it's damaging. That self-talk that we have, that goes on in our head, it could be very damaging to us, right? And there are things that happen in our life, whether it's personal or professional, and most of the time it starts, or at least most of the people that I've met, it started at home, either in their childhood, with their parents, their spouses, and whatnot, and that caused them to look at themselves in that way, and that is with doubt. People don't value themselves. They don't look at themselves as someone that's important, that's someone that has a lot to bring to the table, that adds value, and that is just so not true. It's sad, really, for me, to see those people. Every one of us has a purpose on this planet, and while many are still struggling to find what that purpose is, while many are still finding what their purpose in life is, one thing that I can tell you for sure is that each and every one of us has a purpose, and finding that may sometimes feel like a never-ending struggle, right? There's many that are lost. They're lost because they don't know where they're going. They're surrounded by people that are negative. You can't not live a positive life while being in a negative environment. It's just the way it is. You cannot. So the people that you're surrounded with, whether it's your co-workers, your family, your friends, they may mean well, but they don't always do well for you. And everything in life is energy. Your thoughts are energy, your actions are energy, your feelings are energy, and we pass that like flu from one to the other. And so, if you're surrounded with negative people, then obviously you're going to pick up that negative energy, and sooner or later you will become the same way. Life events happen. Something happened in our lives that also affect us, impact us in a big way, and a loss of a close one. People lose their jobs, people lose money, they give up on their goals, they quit. It doesn't matter what age you are, it affects everybody the same way, and it just snowballs from one to the other, and before you know it, you are in this hole, right? But you hit the rock, as they say, the rock bottom. But the great thing about hitting rock bottom, the awesome thing about hitting rock bottom, And you may ask yourself, I'm at rock bottom. What can be awesome about that? When you hit rock bottom, there's only one way, up, right? Only one way. And so, the question that people have asked me often is that, how do I get out of this situation? How do I start climbing back up? Right? How do I get myself back on that horse? And listen, I can tell you that it'll be easy, but it won't. Right? And the first thing that that anyone has to do, whether it's someone that that is going through this, or it's you that's going through this, the first thing that I believe must happen is that you have to take that mirror and put it up to yourself, right? So if you know someone and you're trying to help them, understand one thing: they're not you. Okay? They don't think like you. They don't act like you. They don't see the world through your eyes. They don't see what they're doing as something that's wrong, right? They may be abused by someone. It may be a spouse, a boyfriend, a coworker, a boss, a friend, even a parent. So they may not see the world through your eyes. So when you're trying to help them, don't look at them as, in relation to how you would do things. Don't look at their actions or their thoughts as, well, I would do it this way, or this is what helped me, or whatever, because they're not you, and they can't do things the way you do, okay? But what you can do is listen empathetically, okay? And that is, put yourself in their shoes. Stop judging. Be neutral. It's not easy, but that's what needs to be done, right? Try to have them open up to you, and without digging, without judging, without poking, so to speak, and more of, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? Reassure them that you're there to help, and you don't have to agree nor disagree with them, but just listen. There's a lot of power, a lot of strength in having people to open up to you and truly listen. Not just hear them, not just hear their voice, but listen to what they have to say, right? And then the second thing is that we all have something that we bring to the table, right? You have people, I know personally people that are beautiful on the outside, right? They have a lot of things going for them physically. But when they see themselves in the mirror, they see themselves as being ugly, as being fat, as being unworthy. And they punish themselves. They continue to punish themselves. Whether they starve their bodies of nutrients, profusely work out, get themselves to the condition that it's almost unhealthy. And they don't see what you see, right? So it is important for them to realize that this is not the type of person that they are, right? And creating a list of daily affirmations with things that make them happy, things that they do see, focusing on the positive, the power of I am beautiful, I am strong, I am smart, I am worthy. All the statements of I am that reassure and remind them of who they truly are, right? So one thing that that many of you have asked consistently is, what can I do, right? What can I say to help them out? Okay? And you have to remember, you can't talk your way out of a situation that you behave yourself into. Right? Think about that statement once again. You cannot talk yourself out of the situation that you behaved yourself into. So if someone is starving themselves because they see themselves as being fat, you cannot tell them to eat and the situation will be fixed. There's an underlying problem there, right, that causes them to starve themselves. Now, I know people personally that lack self-esteem. They don't see themselves as someone that's being worthy. They don't see their own value, and there are reasons for that. I know their personal history, so I see them as, from a different point of view, and that's because some events happened in their life, some personal events that triggered, that feeling, that emotion, that caused themselves to doubt themselves. So they're scared. They're scared because they have either lost somebody, or they've been through a tragic experience, and now they don't have the strength. They don't want to admit. It's easier for them to live in that fear, because they don't have to do anything. They're there. It's familiar. The hardest thing to do is to change and embrace, those things that we call weaknesses, and plow through them, right? Because then you have to take action, and if you take action, you have to be accountable for them. And they may be scared. They may be scared that this is the only thing that they know. They may be scared that they'll make the same mistakes, or they'll get hurt the same way again, and they may not want to do that. And you know what? Fear is natural. I may come across as someone that's confident all the time and someone that does not, fear anything. But let me tell you, I went through a period in my life where I was petrified. I was scared, for my professional growth. I was scared for losing a job. I was scared for growing a family. I was scared for what I can afford. And, the only way that I overcame that is to plow through it. I picked one fear a day, something that I was scared of the most, and I made myself go through that. I forced myself. It's sort of like someone being petrified of a roller coaster and making themselves to go on it. And then once you do, you want to go again and again and again, because you realize that there's nothing to fear but the fear itself, right? There's nothing to fear. You overcame that through doing it. And so if you pick something that you are afraid of the most, something that's making you doubt yourself, right? Like asking for that promotion, or breaking up with that abusive, boyfriend or girlfriend, or explaining to your parents, listen, I'm not 5 anymore. I can make my own decisions. Although I appreciate it greatly, what you're trying to do, and I know that you're coming from a place of care and love, I can do this. And most importantly, telling yourself, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I can do this. I am someone that's here for a reason. I am someone that was meant to do great things. We are all created by this incredible, magical force in the universe, right? We are all made by that. Naturally there's two people, that come together and they make a baby, but that force, that energy behind it, that makes us who we are, that brings all those elements together and makes us who we are, brings life into that body. It doesn't make mistakes. You are here for a reason. Why the hell would the universe bother with you if you were not meant to be here and you were not meant to do great things with your life? What makes you the authority on judging yourself as someone that's worthless, of someone that has any lack, of someone that's not perfect just the way you are? Who are you to make that judgment about yourself? You think that you're better and smarter? No, if you come from that same source, you are perfect just the way you are. That's what you were meant to do. I'm tired of people constantly telling me that they're living in fear. That they're afraid to make a move. They're afraid to make a decision. They rather let it go on autopilot. Let their life just happen on its own. And they then complain about the results that they get. You know, if you're not in control of your life, if you're not in control of your actions, then don't complain about the results that you're going to get, right? You want a different outcome? Start doing different things. If you keep doing what you're doing, then you're going to be getting what you're getting. You have the power, you have the control to change the trajectory of your life. Only you can do that. You know, no psychiatrists, no friends, no parents, no co-workers, not anybody can make you, force you to do anything that you don't want to do with your life. The only person that can do that is you. You have that power, you have that strength, and only you can do that. Now, if you surround yourself with people that are on their way up or have already reached the top, then obviously you have a better chance of succeeding, because you're reaching up in the world. You're reaching up in your relationships. You're reaching up in your professional life. But if you surround yourself with people that are constantly negative, that are doing drugs, that are drinking alcohol, that are yelling, screaming, and fighting, that are constantly judgmental, then the only thing that you will bring into your life is more of that, more of the same. Right? And that's not something that you want if you are on the way up. If that's not what you're looking to bring into your life, then stop hanging out with those type of people. You know, stop hanging out with those type of people. I think it's rather simple. Right? What do you think? So that's kind of what I have to say today. You know, if you want to change your life, if you want to change the way it's going for you, make a change. Start with you. Put a mirror up to yourself. You know, look for positive things in your life. There's so many of them. You wake up in the morning, you have breath in your body, your lungs are working, you're able to open your eyes. Thank God for that. Thank God for every opportunity. You know, prayer and statements of I am are very, very powerful, and they're very important. You know, every morning when you get up, don't ask for anything. Just say thank you. Thank you for having another opportunity, another day to kick some ass and take some names. And I promise you, God will deliver every day. All right? If there's anything else that you want to talk about, let me know. Until next time, have a great day.